Hey, welcome back to the Wealth Deliver channel, everyone. No fancy intro or any of that tonight. I am just here to give you an update. I recently did a review of the Primary Arms RS-10 mini red dot sight, right, which I liked. But in that video, I discovered a little issue with a pin in one of the holes that wouldn't allow flat mounting on the plates. And if you haven't checked out the review, you can go check it out. Like the sight, it was just this one little issue. So anyway, there's been some developments in this thing that I thought was pretty important to share with you. So real quick, I'm going to show you up close what the fix was and then tell you how this whole thing came to be. So stand by, let's check that out, and I'll be right back. Thanks. Hang on. All right, folks. So like we talked about, the issue was a pin, which I'm trying to show. It's harder to see now because it's recessed in there a little bit. But there is a pin in that index hole right there. That pin is part of the hinge for the battery door. That was preventing us from mounting flat on factory plates, as well as the PIC adapter that came in with the Optic. So what Primary Arms had recommended was pushing that pin back in. They did a little research and said, hey, you can probably push that pin in. Well, I tried, and then I couldn't get that pin to move. But then I opened the battery door, right? And so you've got your torque screw here. Loosen that, open the battery door. It takes the tension off of this pin. We were able to then push it in up into the body a little bit, and it stayed there. So that's what we did. I opened and closed the battery door a bunch of times. I kind of beat this thing around a little bit and tried to get that pin to release further, to drop back down, and it didn't. So it has stayed in position. Now, as a result of that, this, of course, is the Glock plate that comes with the RS-10, right? So we all know that's awesome, super awesome plate. Nice and flush, fits great on that plate. But the problem I had is it wouldn't work on the factory plate. This is the factory Glock plate, number one. And there you go, right? So there's that side. There's that side. Nice and flush. Fits fine. Awesome. And the PIC adapter. This also came with the sight. Didn't fit on there either because of the issue with the pin. As you can see now, sits nice and flush. So there you go. That was the whole problem. That little bit of pin. So we're going to step back and I'll tell you a little bit more about what Primary Arms said, but I wanted to give you an up close look. So let's get back to it. How about that? So pretty simple fix. Now I said something incorrect in the up close video. I said that I'd fixed it. I didn't. My engineer, who goes by the name JB, JB is the one that figured this out, which was pretty cool. And JB's not actually an engineer, but just a guy who's a little smarter than I am, who realized if you open the door, took the tension off. Anyway, thank you, JB. He was the one that figured it out. So he will be my engineer from here on out. So how did this come to be? Well, Primary Arms recognized the video. And how cool is that, right? I thought that was pretty neat. And they responded to the video. And I'm going to show you that response and said, hey, we're all over this thing and we're going to check it out. And in that response, they said, hey, you can push that pin back in and we think everything will be cool. So I tried that myself. That was before my engineer got involved. And I couldn't get that pin pushed in. So I sent them an email and said to their customer service and said, hey, folks, did a review? You saw it. Awesome. Thank you for the response. And I tried to fix it. Didn't work. Well, in the meantime, that's when JB got a hold of this thing and said, hey, we take the tension off the door, push the pin in, and it works. Neat. So while we were doing that, Primary Arms got back to me again and said, hey, we're going to get you out a new sight. Give us your order number. We're just going to send you a new sight. We'll get this one back. We'll let the engineers take a look at it, figure out what happened. How cool is that, right? So they just reached out randomly and responded in a matter of hours. That was like super duper cool. Now, I ultimately sent them back an email and said, hey, guys, it looks like we've got this figured out. The site works fine. I like the site. I don't need another one. So I'm happy. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. So very super cool. So in a day and age when customer service is so hard to come by, right? We've all experienced it. It's really hard to get good service just about anywhere you go now. Here's this company who recognized the video and they don't know me. They don't need me. I'm not selling anything. And but they were that involved to say, hey, this is a challenge. And oh, by the way, they did it with some humor, which was cool. It was a cat named Jimmy at Primary Arms that I was chatting with via email, and man, that's so cool. I was very impressed with the service. So a couple other things I want to point out real quick. A couple other questions have come up about this site. The number one question has been, why did they pick the Dr. Noblix footprint and it's obscure and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not really true. The Dr. Noblix footprint is pretty common. It's used on several other sites and has been for a number of years. It's very common. Now, Primary Arms had a pretty amazing reason for picking it. Very good reasons that they picked this footprint. I don't want to tell the whole story for them. There's a video on their social media. If you go check it out, that kind of explains it. But here's the short version. They wanted to use a 2032 battery, and it had to be side loading, not one of the smaller batteries like some of the other sites use, because they wanted to preserve battery life. So that's pretty reasonable. So to make a compact site like they did, side loading battery, and use the 2032, it looks like their best option was the Dr. Noblix footprint. So I think that's a perfectly good explanation, and I think most would agree. So it's pretty cool. But again, go check out that video from Primary Arms. It's pretty cool. The next thing, people have asked me about the PDP. Obviously, being a Walter lover, people want to see this site, know how it fits on a PDP. There are some questions as to whether or not it'll fit in the 1.0 version of the PDP slides. Now, I don't have a clear answer yet because I don't have the plates to mount it. I will, and I'll try it. I think, now I've taken the Optic cover plate off of a PDP 1.0. I tried to fit the site in there. I think it's going to depend on the plate, quite frankly. I'm not 100% sure, but more to come as I get it. The 2.0 cutout is plenty big enough. That's your PDP-Fs, the later versions of the PDP, PDP Pro. I've tried it on a couple of those guns that I have, and it's going to work. But again, I don't have the plate yet to mount it. I'm waiting on the plates. So more to come. I'll get another update out when I get it mounted on the plates. Another thing. So I had to remove the link from the description in my video. So YouTube's got some community guidelines and stuff like that, and love it or hate, whatever the case. Got to follow the rules, man. So I took that site down. So you're going to have to find these folks, the manufacturer of this site yourself. And yeah, so I had to take that down, and that's cool, but because we got to follow the rules. But I'm not selling anything, just to be crystal clear. Nor am I recommending any retailer of any sort in this video. I'm strictly talking about the manufacturer of this site, Primary Arms. So there you go. Last thing I want to mention is the warranty. So they offer you a lifetime warranty on this site. So $199, lifetime warranty, world-class customer service. Man, what more can you say? So got the issue resolved. I put it back on the Glock because I like the way it looks on this gun, and I didn't even have to re-zero it. So the site is pretty phenomenal. So to wrap this up, great site, great price, customer service. So a big shout out to Jimmy, who is the cat I was chatting with at Primary Arms, and the whole team there for their attention to detail on this thing. I have no issue ordering up another one of these, which I'm going to do because I like it a lot. And I think that most people are going to be pretty satisfied with this site. And I know you'll be satisfied with the customer service that you will get from the manufacturer of this site, Primary Arms. So that's all I have. That's what I have for you. So if you have any other questions, I know the PDP questions, there's some other stuff around the site. I will get you updates as much as I can, as quick as I can when I get plates and all that other jazz. But in the meantime, thank you so much for the support. Thank you to Jimmy and all the folks at Primary Arms. And yeah, I hope everybody is spectacular. And I'll see you soon. Thanks. See you.